The progressive revolution doesn't stop when the live show ends. Join the home of progressives and become a TYT member today. Click the link below. Here we go again, Politico attacking Bernie Sanders. Of course, this time it's David Siders. They like to take turns. They're later going to take turns complimenting him. Oh, right, no, that's never gonna happen. Okay, so the headline here is Sanders 2020, question mark. Many Bernie backers aren't feeling it. So now here's a quote. Bernie Sanders is a problem as he decides whether to run in 2020. Many of his former staffers are looking elsewhere. Now, I was very interested in that story because I supported Bernie Sanders in the primaries last time around, and I think that he's an excellent progressive. So I read it with fervor. Okay, what's going on? Do they have it? Like main players, like his chief strategist or et cetera? No, they found two young guys who, by the way, still support him, and someone that's no longer with the campaign. Wow. Okay, so let me give you the quotes. They say, many of them are looking for a different progressive champion to finish what Sanders started. Many of them? Well, I mean, in the article, you quoted 3 people negatively, but by the way, a bunch of people positively. I'm gonna get to that too. They go on to say, Sanders should just declare victory, they said, content in the knowledge. No, they didn't say it, you planted it. The whole point of this article is for you guys to say this, okay? Should just declare victory, they said, content in the knowledge that much of his 2016 platform has been adopted by other ambitious Democrats considering White House bids. Plus, he's a white man who would turn 80 in his first year as president, who'd be trying to lead a diverse party fueled by energy of young voters, women, and people of color. As if Politico gives a damn about people of color and young people. Oh, I know. Politico's like, wait, we really got to represent millennials. Those are the people that you often talk about in derisive and dismissive ways in article after article.
Yes, I know you have more, but I have to jump in really quick in response to that very portion of what they wrote. Why did millennials, for the most part, decide to sit out this last election? Which I wish they hadn't, but still, what turned them off so much that they decided not to vote? Because of what happened to Bernie Sanders in the Democratic Party during the Democratic primaries. They were outraged at what the DNC had done because many of those millennials supported Bernie Sanders. And when they saw how the DNC undermined his potential in the election, they were so furious about it that they didn't want to vote. They didn't want to vote for Hillary Clinton. They certainly didn't want to vote for Trump. So like this idea, like they're totally changing the narrative to make it seem like, oh no, millennials, no interest in Bernie Sanders whatsoever.
It's laughable.
Yeah.
Every part of this article is laughable. So they talk about how, oh, well, he's too old, right? Oh, man, almost gonna be 80 in his first, But Joe Biden's 1 year different, so almost the same exact age. Elizabeth Warren, who I like a lot, is almost the same age, just a couple of year difference.
She is?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
I didn't know
so
that.
I know because the media never talks about it. They never write articles about Joe Biden's an old white man who'd be near 80 when he took office. Why is there no articles like that, Politico? Oh, because Joe Biden's mainstream, okay? They threw a little bit of shade at Elizabeth Warren because she's a progressive, but still not the age thing. Oh, Bernie, he's too old. Oh, progressives are saying that? Which progressives are saying that? No, you're saying that, Politico. You call desperately around to everybody. Can I find anyone to do the thing that I want to do, which is bury Bernie Sanders? And why didn't you call progressive leaders, see if they're interested in Bernie Sanders? We run the largest online progressive show in the world. Why didn't you call any of our hosts? No, because you don't want to hear the truth. Why didn't you call Nina Turner, who runs Our Revolution? Why didn't you call any of those leaders? Why didn't you call the nurses union? Why didn't you call any of those people? Because you don't want the truth, okay? Instead, you called like a 12-year-old and you asked him what his opinion was. Anyway, I'm gonna get to that guy in a second too. And then they said, oh, this okay, his agenda's been adopted by other ambitious Democrats. Which progressive thinks, oh no, that's okay, Cory Booker took some parts of Bernie Sanders' campaign, so now I'm with Cory Booker? Which progressive thinks that? Do you know a single progressive? Does anyone Politico ever run into a progressive in their lives? The idea that progressives would be like, oh, no. Cory Booker and the other establishment Democrats, they got it from here. I don't know a single progressive who thinks that. And by the way, we'll see you in the battlefield, Politico, and you are. Like they pretend they're neutral. Hilarious. 18 different hatchet jobs against Bernie Sanders, and 2020 hasn't even begun yet. How nervous are you? We're at least honest. We're progressives. We like Bernie Sanders. We like Elizabeth Warren. You guys are establishment hacks. But you're dishonest. Oh, I'm neutral. I just happen to write another story trying to make sure Bernie Sanders doesn't run. So that gets to the most important point. Well, what's the trick in this story? The trick is, oh, no. They want a new, younger face. Yeah, guys, no. Get someone new, with no name recognition, so they'll have no chance of winning. They realize, and the establishment's in a panic, Bernie has great name recognition, great polling, and that's a huge advantage in politics. That's the only reason Hillary Clinton won the primaries, because she had through the roof name recognition. They're like progressives. Why don't you unilaterally disarm? Pick someone that no one knows. I bet they have a chance of winning. And what will Politico do immediately afterwards? Oh, nobody knows that person. Irrelevant. We're never going to cover them again. I know you're used to Morning Joe and television and cable news, who reads this stuff and applauds it and goes, oh yeah, Politico with an interesting article. We're here to fight back against your crap, okay? So your agenda is perfectly clear. Now, the hilarious part, the guy that said, well, I mean, I guess other people could run too, is Daniel DeRusso. I don't blame him. He was a field organizer for Sanders in 2016. So he's the young guy. And then so they said, okay, so you're against Bernie, right? He's like, no, quote, if Bernie called me to have me work on the campaign, then I'd do it. Wow. Really seems against Bernie.
Yeah.
Okay, then they talked about his former chief of staff, makes it seem like she's against him. No, she went to work as a lobbyist. I don't love that, but it is what it is. But is she against Bernie? No, here's her quote. I hope Bernie does run for president again, and if he does, I plan to be as helpful as possible to him. Wow, it looks like you've got a lot of people against Bernie, except they're all in favor of Bernie.
Man, that headline.
It's the worst. Okay, wow. I'm not done. Clara Sandberg. I'll do whatever I can if he runs, as would most people, I think, who backed Bernie in 2016. One more. Another former aide. There's only one Bernie. There will not be another Bernie. Oops.
And these are former aides. You know, these are people who don't have to worry about any type of retaliation or anything, but they still support him. So I don't understand. I don't get how the body of this piece corresponds with the headline.
You know why? Because when we do this video, they want to be able to say, what, we had the quotes in the article, and you even read the quotes in the article that was positive, Bernie. See, we're balanced and neutral. No, the headline is Sanders 2020, question mark. Bernie backers aren't feeling it. And the whole beginning of the article is about, no, anybody but Bernie, make sure it's not Bernie. And then at the end of the article, by the way, they're all in favor of Bernie. Losers, total incompetent losers. You're hacks, you're not journalists, and you're not even good hacks. The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.